Welcome, everybody, to Inside Rebel Football, the Coaches Show, live at Freddy's on Cypress Street in West Monroe. We appreciate you listening in. Show number 10 on the season. Crazy to believe that. It's already here. And we've had a lot this season. A lot of good games, a lot of challenges, some success as well. And we're in Week 10, last game of the season. Rebels get ready for some playoff action next week, but they wrap up district play at home this Friday night in Rebel Stadium against the Ruston Bearcats. We'll have it right here for you on LA 105.3 KLIP Monroe. Pre-game show will start at 6:15, kickoff set for 7 o'clock. Again, that'll be at Rebel Stadium, the Boys and Girls Club night there. Looking forward to that. Maybe a good crowd and a lot of kids in the crowd. And watching the Rebels take on the Bearcats. Joined by head coach Kevin Davis and coach drop a tough one over at Neville. A much anticipated game all week. A lot of hype around the game. The environment was fantastic. Kind of an eerie mist in the air, and the stage was set for a great Friday night of football. It wasn't the cleanest game by either team, really. Just some missed opportunities was the comment that you made after the game.
Yeah.
We couldn't get out of our own way. We missed opportunities when Neville gave us opportunities, and then Neville made a few big plays when they needed to win the ball game. After you've had some time to digest that game Friday night, you've watched the tape, you've seen the good, the bad, the ugly. What are your overall thoughts on that ball game?
Well, it's pretty much what we decided from that night. We had opportunities. And when you get those opportunities, it's make plays.
Yeah.
And we talk about it all the time. You're going to have 4 or 5 plays that are going to be made in a game that's going to decide the game. And they made some plays, and we didn't. Obviously, we made some, but we didn't make enough. And, so that's kind of what we've talked about all week long is, look, we got to have that mindset when we go in that we're going to make plays. We're going to catch interceptions. We're going to throw balls and hit receivers that are wide open. We're going to get 5 yards when they give us an opportunity and give us a hold and things of that nature. So that's the things that we've been talking about with the kids, and that was the biggest thing that I saw. Did we play hard? Absolutely. Did we get after it from the first to the end? Absolutely. And I just felt like there were times there that we left some plays on the field. We get the ball, they turn it over,
yeah.
We get it, and we fumble.
Mm-hmm.
That's that. We haven't done that much, but it's not come at opportune times.
Yeah.
There is never an opportune time for a fumble, but that was one of those. Where it kills you.
Yeah.
And just things like that.
Coach, you go down 13. We're 2.5 minutes into the ball game. It's 13-0. That made a good play, jumped a route, and got the ball on the one, punched it in. It's 13-0. Did that affect that early deficit? Did it affect the game plan at all offensively for West Monroe being down so quickly?
I don't think so. I felt like they did a good job scheming for the run game, knowing what we were going to try to do, and so obviously you saw it. Didn't have a lot of yards rushing, but threw for 245, and that's what you have to be able to do. You have to be able to monitor and adjust and do things that they're giving you, and they were giving us that, and so it didn't get us in a panic, didn't get us in a rush, but it's like that same old, the mindset thing.
Yeah.
It's tough to be down 13 to an 8-0 team.
Yeah, on
it's
the road.
ranked number 1 in the state, so. And they did a great job.
Yeah. Coach, the defensive side of the ball was pretty effective. You guys
Absolutely.
had a good game plan. Coach Arledge and his staff had a great game plan, executed that game plan in some big third down moments that Friday night. What can you say to that effort on the defensive side of the ball?
Well, I told them at halftime, they did an awesome job, just keeping us in the ball game. And, we talked to them again at halftime, say, hey, if you can put a 0 on the board, we got a shot, And when we got it to 20-14, I felt like, we were in pretty good position. Defense continued to play hard, continued to play great. And, you can't ask them to do that time in and time out when you're not putting points on the board. And it's there goes that mindset thing again. I just think it gives you that confidence when you can put some points on the board that defense can step up even a little more.
Coach, it's it's easy to look at the losses and really focus on those. Most athletes will go 9 for 10 at the plate, and they'll talk about the one strikeout they had. And I hate to keep doing that, but if you look at the 4 losses for West Monroe, by the way, those teams that have 32-2 records, so not terrible losses. Nobody likes to lose, but it seems like we've just been close and just can't quite put it all together.
Right.
For that one night that it would take to beat an 8-0 team.
Right.
But what would you attribute that to? Lack of focus? Is it what's
I don't know if it's focus. I think it's confidence.
Yeah.
To a degree. When I've talked about mindset, I think it's a belief when you go into a game that you're going to win the game, that you're going to play better, that you're going to make plays if the opportunity comes to you. And I think that's more of what they're dealing with. You know, social media is a beast, man. And I'm going to go out on a limb right here and say, you know, if you're an adult and you're calling out our kids on social media in a negative way, please stop.
Yeah.
That's beyond me that an adult can name a kid now a student, that plays because he loves the game and criticize him on social media for the way. I mean, it blows me away that people can do that. But our kids see that. Well, they start believing that, you know, and that's tough because we're sitting there fighting against that negativity in social media with our coaching staff saying that they are good, you know, that they can do it, that they can be what we need them to be. And so that's the big thing that I get from the takeaway is that we just got to develop that mindset that, hey, let's go out and win a ball game and do it because we're good enough to do it.
Coach, I love to hear you say it, and I couldn't agree more. It's about confidence, and it actually starts off the field. And hopefully that message resonates with some of our listeners, and I appreciate you being candid with us and taking up for your players, certainly. Coach, we'll get a chance. We'll talk about Ruston at the end of the show. Should be a fun Friday night in Rebel Stadium.
Yeah.
And we'll turn the page from Neville, and we'll move on to the Bearcats, and looking forward to that conversation.
All right. Thanks, Rick.
All right, folks, that was head coach Kevin Davis. We come back, we'll visit with quarterback coach and strength and conditioning coach Taylor Birch here on Inside Rebel Football. We'll be right back.
At Century Next Bank, employees are busy working for you. Employees like Lee Denny, whose relationships make an impact in the communities we call home.
So to see positive impact that these relationships can have when you work with other people, when other people appreciate it. And again, it goes back to spending time and trying to help somebody, and it's a very rewarding thing for me as well.
For more on Lee's story, visit bankwithlocals.com. Century Next Bank. What's next for you?
Welcome back, folks, and thanks for listening to Inside Rebel Football. Just a quick housekeeping deal. We've got a condensed show tonight. Down to we'll be off the air at 10 till 7 o'clock to make room for our friends over at ULM. Basketball game on at 7 o'clock, so their pregame show starts at 6:50 here tonight, right here on LA 105.3. And, again, we appreciate you listening to Inside Rebel Football. Now joined by quarterback coach, strength and conditioning coach, equipment guy, all the above, Coach Taylor Birch. Coach, thanks for joining us here on the show. I kept waiting for our friends, the Jake Martins and the Aaron Districts to catch the storyline of Coach Birch going back to Neville. I'm sure you're glad that was avoided.
Glad they skipped it.
That's right.
Yes.
But
plenty of more interesting storylines there.
But there had to be some emotion for you going back to Bill Ruppel Stadium to play against a place that's meant so much to you and still means so much to you, a place where you won a championship and have a lot of different good relationships still. But just tell us about the emotion of last Friday night.
Well, tried my best to keep my focus on our guys in the game itself and doing my part to help us offensively. And, was asked all throughout the week about it, of course, from both sides of the river. And, to me, it was if I don't let it be a distraction, if I don't let it be weird, it's not going to be. Yeah. And so that was my mindset going in. And, Friday night actually getting over there, and walking out of that tunnel and seeing the home side from the other side was, to me, the moment it happened.
Sure.
It was over, and it's time to play Rebel football. And to me, the emotions of the pregame ceremonies of it was more for me. Emotions were tied for Tarver and Tarver's family, and that happening, and it was come here, boy, come here.
Oh yeah, we got
And
a
it was,
special guest with us. There you go, bring him on.
It was more for. It was important that I felt that it was important to me that I got to be there for their senior night, and those boys that I had been with the last 3 years and have been through that, and so it was it was surreal, but at the same time cool that it happened. Just so happened that their senior night was the week they played us, and that was cool to be a part of, and just get to see that. Hey, buddy, what's up? Can you tell the people hello? Say hello. That's right. All right, let's turn that mic up. You can keep watching. But yeah, so it was cool to be a part of, and but yeah, that's from like you said, all relationships I have over there are still phenomenal, and didn't leave with a sour bone anywhere in my body, and still love.
I didn't figure you would, but I
loved getting my hands around them after the game.
I bet. Yeah, I got to see you, talk to those folks, and I know that meant a lot to you, and it meant a lot to them, coming from you as well. Thoughts on the offense's performance? I know there were times that we had some quick 3 and outs, we had some unfortunate mistakes, but we also had some bright spots. Let's talk about the bright spots that you saw on offense last Friday night.
Sure. I mean, that's there were big plays. There were, like you said, a couple drives we put together. And hit a few things, then ended up, shooting ourselves in the foot again. And
we got all kind of things going on.
Yeah, we do.
Thank you.
We came up short a few times, and feel like it's self-inflicted wounds, and that's kind of been our. 1 second.
Oh man, look, it's all good.
All right,
been
buddy.
there,
all right,
done that.
All right. You still in the show, bub?
It's all good. Look, there's all kind of. We got headsets and helmets and all kind of shiny things, man. You want to be a part of, so there's no problem with that, Coach. And first job we all have, right? Is
that's
dad.
right, no doubt.
Right? That's our first job.
doubt.
That's our favorite job.
And glad my dad's here to help.
There
me
you go, man. That's awesome. I love to see it. Family affair.
Holes in our feet. Too many to win a good ball. Win a game against a good ball team, and. That's happened to us a few times, and that's the message again. This week is guys, if we're a pretty dang good ball team, offensively, on our side, if we play when we don't shoot ourselves in the foot, and when we do, we're not very good. And so that's the message of the consistency and the focus it takes to consistently execute, and it's got to happen Monday through Wednesday, and that's the message we keep stapling home.
Gotcha. One of the offensive highlights we had last Friday night was a big touchdown from Ryder to Luke Valerie. Seen Luke out on the field. We've had some injuries, and so Luke's had his opportunity. Had a big play Friday night. Luke offers a lot of different skill sets for this offense. Talk about how he's started to become more involved on the offensive side of the ball.
Well, he's, going in, we knew his playmaking ability, and last time I was here we talked about, at quarterback and moving to receiver and being an asset to us, and feeling like this year that's where he can help us more. And now, like you said, with a few injuries and a few things, and not only injuries but also him earning it through JV season and doing some great things there on Monday nights, and obviously during practice being one of those consistent parts that we talked about, and now it's paying off for him. And so you saw Friday night just the fruits of his labor. I mean, that's really what it was. And he's out there, and to us it wasn't a surprise because we knew, hey, that's Luke. He just finally got the opportunity. It presented itself, and he did with it what we expected him to do with it. And so he's going to continue to do that, and he's going to bust it and continue to earn it. And hopefully, his work ethic and the consistency he shows day in and day out can sprinkle throughout the rest of the offense.
Coach, before I let you go, I want to ask you real quick. You've had a chance. You guys are game planning for a very good Ruston defense. Give us a quick scouting report on the Bearcats.
Sure. As always, they're going to be fast, physical, hard-nosed ball team. Last few years have obviously showed that, and continue to with the Texas slate that they went through early this year and into district. And they're always going to be tough in the box. They're going to be fast and physical in the back half. Very similar to Neville schematically. similar in ways to Neville. And so, it's going to be another phenomenal test for us. It's one of the big games that we spend all week as coaching staff and talking to the players about. It's an opportunity for a signature win. It's an opportunity for, you feel like you've fallen short in those opportunities so far this season. You've won the ones that, we thought we would win, and then the ones that are, the ones that would be signature wins, we've fallen short. And so it's just another opportunity, not only for that, but as it's week 10 rolling into the playoffs, it's a great opportunity for momentum rolling into week 11. And, it might be that the switch we need, for the confidence for our guys to, hey, we can still be a team that can make a splash in this thing if we get this one going. So
that's well said, and the opportunity is the right word. Coach, wish you the best of luck Friday night. Always a pleasure having you on the show.
Yep. Yes,
all right, folks, that was Coach Taylor Birch. We come back, we'll visit with Philip Dunaway and Noel Guerrero here on Inside Rebel Football. We'll be right back.
For years, you've trusted us with your car buying experience. You've trusted us to provide service after the sale. You've even trusted us to help keep your vehicle clean. Now it's time for us to have some fun.
Polaris of Ruston, where the road ends, adventure begins.
Rebels. Now, back to Rick Gio.
Welcome back, folks. All kinds of fun on that last segment. We appreciate you listening in here on Inside Rebel Football, and be sure and you'll be entertained if you tune into YouTube as Coach Ashley will get that uploaded on our Facebook page next week. We appreciate David and the staff here at Freddy's. They're always a great host, and we appreciate all they do for us. Now joined by Philip Dunaway, senior wide receiver, and Noel Guerrero, senior running back for the Rebel offense. And Noel, we'll start with you. You guys are seniors. Tell me about what this season means to you. You've been in the program for a while, and so your season, your senior season, is finally here. Talk to me about the meaning of that to you and what that means to be a senior.
Yes, sir. It means a lot to me, honestly. I know it's my last season. I got a lot to look forward to. Well,
you got a great experience in the environment last Friday night at Neville. There was a lot of hype going into that game. Your thoughts as pregame warm-up started and the things started taking place. Talk to me about what kind of memory that could be for you in the environment that was over at Bill Ruppel.
Yes, sir. It's a great environment, to be honest. You just got to go out there and execute. Yeah,
that's those games are, when I look back at the times I played, those fun, hyped up games where it was built up all week. Those are the games that you remember, and I know you guys will remember that one. Even though we weren't quite on the good side of the game, it'll be something that you remember. Philip, the mindset of the locker room right now. We've had some tough challenges this season. We've had some good moments this season, but we still have everything in front of us. What's the attitude? You're a senior on this team. What's the attitude of the locker room right now over at the practice facility?
Well, the attitude for the locker room, I mean, we hype. We ready to go handle our business with Neville. Not Neville, for Ruston.
Yeah.
We looking forward to winning state this year.
Yeah. So you've put Neville behind you.
Yes, sir.
And, the focus on Ruston. Noel, what's the attitude going? Ruston, you guys have played Ruston since you were in middle school.
Yes, sir.
What's the feeling like this week? It's a huge game, possibly a last home game at Rebel Stadium. I want to ask both of you that question. What's that mindset like this week?
We've been thinking a lot about it.
Yeah.
Going out there and executing, finishing strong.
Yeah.
Hopefully winning the game.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's personal for us.
Yeah.
This is like our last game, so it's very personal for us.
Yeah. Guys, as we wrap up our segment here, want to ask you about, influences. You both seniors, and you think about your career over time and the time you've been at West Monroe, the time leading up to West Monroe, the people that have had an impact on your football career. Who comes to mind? Is it a former player? Is it a teammate, a former coach, a current coach? Anybody outside of football, as you think about your time, who comes to mind as an influence for you? Either one of you can jump on that one if you're ready.
Well, I'll say David Moore. He played last year.
Yeah. Former wide receiver, wore a lot of different hats. And so, Philip, you shout out to David Moore and outstanding player. Noel, who comes to mind when you think about your time
I'd say Grant Emerson.
Yeah.
He taught me to treat others good.
Yeah.
Always respect each other.
Yeah. He was a great leader, great senior leader on this team last year. So both those guys, good guys. And as we wrap up, I like to tell our seniors, thanks for all that you've done for this program. Thanks for wearing the jersey with pride. And I wish you the best of luck Friday night. And then the week after, that's when, you never know, it could be your last one. That's when the real fun starts in playoff time. So good luck, guys.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, folks, that was Philip Dunaway and Noel Guerrero here on Inside Rebel Football. We come back, we'll turn the page. We'll talk defense with Coach James Truxillo. We'll be right back.
Coach, look what I got. The Rocket Fast Playbook. That's awesome, Sport. What does it say? First, you get him in the tunnel. Second, you blindside him with the wall of foam. Third, you call an audible. Then comes the Hail Mary. You hit him with the fast pass. Coach, it's brilliant. No dirty opponent stands a chance against Rocket Fast.
Hey, that's my playbook. Where'd you get that? Oh, it doesn't matter. Just sing the song.
Rocket Fast. It's a blast, and your vehicle is clean.
Welcome back, folks, and thanks for listening tonight here on LA 105.3. We're live at Freddy's in West Monroe on Cypress Street, and we appreciate their hospitality. It's been a fun night here at Freddy's. Now joined by defensive back coach James Truxillo, and Coach Trucks is what he's known as. And Coach, real quick before we jump into this week, let's talk about the defense's effort against Neville. It was seemed like we had a good game plan, executed the game plan pretty effectively for most of the night. But your thoughts on your secondary and your defense as a whole?
Well, I think as a defensive back perspective, we've made improvement as the year has gone on. And that's really, what we've been preaching from the beginning is, look, let's get better every week. And I think we have done that. So hopefully we can continue that. But against Neville, like Coach Davis said, it's usually three or four plays that kind of make an impact on the game. If you take away 3 plays or so against Neville, we really did a good job. Kind of keeping them at bay. 3 plays hurt us. We had 3 big pass plays. They really didn't run the ball very well on us.
Right.
I think they had like 75 yards or so running. But you take away 2 or 3 plays in the passing game, and you never know the outcome of it. But you got to tip your hat to Neville. They executed. We didn't when we needed to do so. But, proud in the way how hard we played. We just got to eliminate those mistakes, those big plays.
One of the guys you brought with you tonight, Orlando Weber, had a big night. A couple of interceptions for the Rebels. Talk about him and the progress he's made in that position and the big night that he had against Neville.
Well, Orlando's a senior, but he really hasn't played, any varsity football, really. So last season he had to step away and focus on academics. But he's been getting better. We've been preaching improvement, and he's really making a name for himself. Coming up big last week with 2 picks. It's huge when you can give the ball back to our offense and give them an opportunity to score. But really proud of the progress that he has made and our cornerback position has made. And we just emphasize improvement and getting better week to week.
One of the things that helps with that improvement is your scout team. And you guys brought back a great tradition from the years past. I can remember the Bandits, even when I played and how much I played defense, and I hated the Bandits. I respected the Bandits, but, man, I just knew every practice, here we go. If somebody's just going to get in a fight with a Bandit. You guys brought that back. Talk to me about the thought process and the decision to bring that back and the jerseys and the whole works. Tell me about the Bandits.
Well, the Bandits are made up of predominantly freshmen, and they run the opponent's offensive plays to give our defense a look. So they know, they're seeing the opponent's offense throughout the week, and they take pride in it. Coach Welch does a great job of motivating those guys, and, it's really been very beneficial for us because, let's face it, some of those guys that they have out there, they're going to be really good players, and they're good players now. They're going to be big-time players for us in the next couple of years, but for them to be able to get out there and just show us the opponent's formations and plays, it's been extremely beneficial, and I know it's helped us out.
One of the things I remember about them is there were no rules. So I don't know. Do y'all have that? I mean, they would tell the offensive line, look, you can hold, you can tackle, you can do whatever you want. Grab their face mask. We don't care. Whatever you want to do. Is that kind of the mindset,
I don't
or not?
think
Maybe
it's
not that extreme.
No, not that extreme.
Okay.
But sometimes you will see a cheap shot by one of the bandits to our defensive guys to see how we're going to respond to that. We're going to punch them back and draw a personal foul or anything like that. So. It's been very competitive, and it's been a lot of fun watching them out there.
Good. Yeah, those are great memories. Let's talk about Ruston. You talk about giving you a look for Ruston's offense.
Yeah.
Tell me about what we should expect. We've seen these guys for the last, feels like, 6 years, but it's, time with Brantley, the quarterback, and Hayes, the running back. They got multiple weapons.
Yeah.
Tell us what we should expect from those guys.
Well, they've been battle tested.
Yeah.
You look at their schedule; it is tough. Week in and week out, they're playing powers not only in Louisiana but in Texas and in Arkansas. So they've been battle tested. They've played great competition. So they've been in these types of games all year long. But like you said, their quarterback, it starts with him. He's a tremendous talent. Running back, he gave us so many issues last season. And he's been awesome this year. Number 6, he's if I'm not mistaken, a basketball and a football commit to LSU. So he's 6'7". He's open even if you got 2 guys on him. You just throw it up to him. And they have other weapons at receiver. They're tight ends, number 16 and number 10 at fullback. They're just tremendous talent, and they're so disciplined. They play so hard and they play so smart. So we're going to have to match their discipline, and we can't beat ourselves. But we've been working really hard throughout the week. It's a tremendous challenge for us, but we're looking forward to this opportunity on Friday.
Yeah, certainly. You've talked about improving a lot tonight, Coach, and that seems to be the theme, because next week, if you don't play well next week, that'll be your last game.
Yeah.
And so Rebels will be in the playoffs. They're playing for a home game. Ruston's playing for a bye, so there's still a lot to play for Friday night. The mindset of the defense going into Friday, when you lose a big ball game like you did against Neville, what's been the mindset? What's been the energy like this week at practice for the defense?
Energy's been awesome.
Good.
And I think this has been preached all year long. We can't beat ourselves.
Yeah.
You can't beat undefeated teams like Ash and like Neville when you're making mental mistakes and you're giving the opponent giving them gifts.
Yeah.
So we just can't beat ourselves. We got to play our game and see where it falls in the end.
Coach, looking forward to it. Always glad to have you on the show, and wish you the best of luck Friday.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, folks, that was defensive back coach James Truxillo. We come back, we'll visit with Orlando Weber and Coley Porter here on Inside Rebel Football. We'll be right back.
The Home Improvement Outlet has a must-see iron door collection. Whether you're a homeowner or a builder, we have the perfect iron door for you. And check out our cutting-edge smart glass option, offering privacy and style at the touch of a button. With many glass options available, you can customize your door to match your unique style. We have iron doors that pivot, slide, and so much more. The Home Improvement Outlet in West Monroe.
Now cue that jingle.
The Home Improvement Outlet, you building for less.
Rebel football with the coaches and players of the West Monroe Rebels. Now, back to Rick Gio.
Welcome back, folks, to Inside Rebel Football. Just a reminder, it'll be up on YouTube tomorrow. The live stream will, and you'll be able to see that link on our YouTube page, the Facebook page, to find the link on YouTube. Real quick, Jim Taylor Ford Family Convenience Clinic, Century Next Bank, Home Improvement Outlet, Polaris of Ruston, Twin City Chiropractic, Rocket Fast Car Wash, Doopy Flooring, and Dr. Jeff Counts. These are our supporters and the ones that make this show possible. We appreciate their support. And don't mean to leave out our host, Freddy's, right here on Cypress Street in West Monroe. Guys, big week this week. Joined by, Orlando Weber and Coley Porter. Before we jump to this week, Orlando, the man of the hour, 2 interceptions against Neville last Friday night. Take me through those plays, man. What happened? What did you see, and how did you make the play?
So the first one, just being in the right place in the right time.
And let's talk about that first one. The receiver was there. He sailed. The ball was high.
Yes, sir.
And went over the receiver's head. You happened to be standing right there and made a pretty good return. So you're saying right place at the right time.
Football God's blessing. I had to try to get a good return, put my team in good field goal position, field goal range. Field position.
And talk to me about the other one.
Second one, good position.
Yeah.
Don't let them get behind me. Get an eye on the quarterback. And just play the ball. Kind of snatched it from him.
Kind of a similar play from earlier in the game where you had excellent position on the receiver, and he just made a circus catch, and the ball was – it's almost like his eyes closed, going down to the ground, made a heck of a catch. Sometimes you got to tip your cap, right? Sometimes you just got to say, hey, look, nothing I can do there. Guy made a great play. And so, Coley, senior on this defense, senior football season, give me I talked to the other guys, Noel and Phillip, about the state of the locker room right now. You got a 5-4 record. Maybe some doubt creeps in. What's going on in the locker room? Tell me about the energy and what you guys are doing as senior leaders to make sure that the confidence stays where it needs to be heading into Ruston.
Yeah, about doubt, I don't. There might be a couple players, but all in all, I'm pretty confident that we don't really have any doubt. We know our goal for the season.
Yeah.
Whether we lose some games or win some games, it's about growing during the season so that when playoffs come, we can dominate and get as far as we possibly can. So.
Certainly, we'll have a fun one this Friday night as we host Ruston at Rebel Stadium. You guys have this has been a rivalry since you were in 6th grade, and one of the second longest rivalry that West Monroe has. Talk to me about the mindset, Orlando. I'll ask you. Going into Ruston and the challenge or the opportunity that the Rebels have Friday night.
We know how big this game is.
Yeah.
We don't want this to be our last home game.
Yeah.
Going in the playoffs, this can give us a lot of momentum and confidence.
Yeah. Coley, going into Ruston, your thoughts going to play or hosting the Bearcats, defending Rebel Stadium. Tell me what it's like on the big games. We haven't had that big game at home yet this season. Tell me what you're anticipating this Friday as that big game gets to be at Rebel Stadium.
Yeah, I'm anticipating a big student section, a big crowd from the fans. We always have our fan support. And like I said before, everybody being on board with the mission, just playing our hearts out on that field, and scoreboard will take care of itself.
That's right. Love to hear it. Guys, great job on the show, and I wish you the best of luck. I always tell our seniors thank you for representing our program, our community, and as a former player and a graduate of West Monroe High School, appreciate all the time and effort you put in to make our program great. Good luck Friday night.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right, folks, that was Orlando Weber and Coley Porter. We come back, we'll wrap up the show with head coach Kevin Davis. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Do you want to feel better and perform better and get back to doing the things you enjoy? Hi everybody, I'm Dr. Kyle Nix at Twin City Chiropractic. If pain or injury have got you down, we provide long-term solutions to get you back to 100%. Our services include chiropractic care, spinal rehab and traction, deep tissue laser, and Normatec compression. If you're an athlete, weekend warrior, work on a computer all day, or even involved in an auto accident, we can help your body perform at its best. Feel better, perform better at Twin City Chiropractic. We're located at 1117 Forsyth Avenue in Monroe. Call us at 318-582-5029.
And players of the West Monroe Rebels. Now, back to Rick Gio.
Welcome back to Inside Rebel Football. Thanks again for listening tonight. And this will be our final segment of the show. Got to cut off a little bit early for our friends over at ULM for their basketball tonight. Big game Friday night at Rebel Stadium. Seems like all the I guess the big games, if you want to call them big games. I know, Coach, you got to give me the coach talk. They're all big games.
Yeah.
But, your second longest rival in Ruston, that one's always a big game, no matter what the records are. And you finally get to have one at home.
That's right.
So what do you anticipate Friday night in Rebel Stadium?
Well, I think it's going to be a great ball game. Like I said before, I still think this district's got a lot of parity in it. And obviously it's a great district with what you see coming out of it at every angle with Ash still undefeated and Neville still undefeated. So, but, yeah, I think it's going to be a great football game. It's a pride football game.
Sure.
It's where you can whether you can stay in the top of the top four and get you a bye, or whether you can get you a home game for us.
Yeah.
And obviously we would love to be able to do that. So there is some incentive there. It's not one of those that you just don't have anything to play for. And anytime Ruston and West Monroe get together, it's going to be a slugfest anyway. So,
Coach, it was a lot closer last year than a lot of folks anticipated. Obviously, Ruston, the best team in non-select football, and the Rebels had a chance to win that ball game at home last year. What's it going to take this year for West Monroe to overcome that and be successful on Friday night?
Well, I think it's just going to be consistent and make those plays that we've been talking about. Have that mindset, hey, I'm going to make a play, and then go out and make them. Be physical, and obviously our kids are going to do that, and play with a lot of energy, have a lot of fun. That's the biggest thing. We're not in the NIL, we're not in the pros, we don't get paid. Play this game for the love of the game, and I think our kids do that on a regular basis. I think the times that they put themselves in that position of pressure, that's when we get snake bit. So I'm just looking for our guys to go out and just get after it and lay it on the line and see how it comes out.
Yeah, play loose, have fun, and like you said, you're really nothing to lose. There is a little bit to gain here. You win the ball game, you get to most likely host a playoff game. Mm-hmm. But talk about momentum going into next week as well. That is something that is important. As next week you don't play well, that's be your last game.
Right.
Talk about what a good ball game Friday night and really a win would do for your football team going forward.
Well, I think that's a huge confidence boost. You go in and beat a 7-2 Ruston team that's number 2 in the state or 3. I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at the
defending champion too.
Yeah, you go in and do that at home, and that just kind of kickstarts you, get you going into the playoffs, and then, man. It's like I've told them before, we've seen the best teams in the state of Louisiana.
Yeah.
We have played the best teams in the state of Louisiana. So there's nothing left to see. We just got to go out and execute and take care of our business and see what happens.
Coach, when you say take care of your business, let's talk about that on the offensive side of the ball first. What does that look like for you Friday night against Ruston to be successful on offense? When you say take care of business, what does that look like on that side of the ball?
Well, you can't turn it over, and obviously 2 turnovers last week, especially one early, put us in the back burner. But you can't turn the ball over. You got to sustain drives. When I look at them on film, they don't look any different than what I saw last year.
Yeah.
They're still athletic as all get out. They're still run around. They're still coached extremely well. I'm not looking at anything different. So we've got to eliminate them a lot of chances of getting the ball, and long drives and things like that. Get some 3-and-outs defensively. Get us a pick, catch one and go the other way with it. And that type of thing. I don't care if we score on special teams. I don't care if we score on defense. It doesn't matter to me how we score.
Need points.
We just want points, and so that's the big thing.
Speaking of special teams, Coach, Daniel Lane has been a weapon for you. Had an opportunity. He flipped the field one time for sure against Neville, had another opportunity to flip it, and we just couldn't quite cover the punt. And I know there was some discrepancy on should it been down at the 5, and actually got a clarification on the rule, and it makes sense now. But talk to me about Daniel Lane and what he can bring to the table Friday night and help West Monroe.
Oh, he can flip the field, and that's huge when you can flip the field and they have to start inside their 10-yard line. He takes pride in that. He works hard at it. I watched him this week. He went out and went toe down on a couple of kicks to see where he could land them. Okay. One died at the 2, one died at the 3.
Nice.
And I was like, wow, that's pretty impressive. And it's a football. It's not round. It might not bounce that way Friday night, but he's working on ways that give him a better chance for it to do that. And so, yes, he's a vital role in our plan.
Yeah.
And special teams, like we say, is a third of it. So he does a great job.
Good week of practice. Talk to me about this week. What have you seen good from the Rebels? Coach Truck said the energy's been pretty good this week at practice on the defensive side of the ball. Talk to me about overall. What's the mindset of the Rebels going into Week 10?
Well, we split up this week, and only because we got, some rain and some bad weather, so you can't practice on those grass fields, and our offensive field obviously is tore up with the construction starting, so we split. That's another one of those things where, the kids it's a little different for them.
Yeah.
But they adjusted extremely well. Tuesday was kind of an iffy day offensively.
Practiced in the morning.
Practiced in the morning. Maybe that was a reason because we had, the Voters' Day, but today I felt really good about putting the hay in the barn.
Good.
We did that today, and the kids did a really good job, and then defensively also, and so it was really nice.
Coach, looking forward to Friday night. It's going to be a fun one at Rebel Stadium. Finally, back home for a big ball game, and we're looking forward to it. Wish you the best of luck.
All right, thanks, Rick. I appreciate it.
Folks, thanks for listening tonight. We're going to turn things over to ULM now, and for Dawson Bowes back at the studio, Tim Gallion here with me at Freddy's. We'll be on the air at 6:15 Friday night right here on LA 105.3 KLIP Monroe. I'm Rick Guillo. Good night, and God bless.